Shalom, 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 shalom aleichem. Shalom aleichem, shalom, shalom aleichem. Shalom aleichem, shalom, 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 shalom aleichem.
All right. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody, I am so thrilled to have Saul Dreyer as our guest on Nosh and Schmooze today. This is incredible. Saul, thank you so much for joining us. Saul is the founder of the Holocaust Survivor Band, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. So thank you, Saul, again for joining us. So Saul was born in Krakow, Poland in 1925, where his youth was stopped by World War II. Saul is a Holocaust survivor. He spent the majority of his life in the US. When the oldest living Holocaust survivor musician passed away, Saul decided to create the Holocaust Survivor Band. Following standing ovations at his first concert, he decided to share this idea widely. So since that moment in 2014, he has played drums around the world. He's played in Vegas, Miami, Austin, as well as Poland, Germany, Israel, and Brazil. And in 2015, a movie producer contacted him, and Oscar-nominated filmmaker Todd Lending spent the next 4 years traveling around the world with Saul, recording a documentary about Saul and the Holocaust Survivor Band. Saul and Ruby's Holocaust Survivor Band documentary premiered in 2020 and has already received many awards, including the Grand Jury Prize at the 23rd Miami Jewish Film Festival and the Audience Award at the Atlanta Jewish Film Festival. Welcome, Saul. How are you?
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, I first met Saul when he performed with the grandchildren of survivors at the last BBYO International Convention in front of thousands of teens from over 40 different countries. And the teens you were playing with and for were all of 15 years old. So my question is, what was going on in your life when you were 15?
I was the age, I was in the ghetto when I was 15 years old. And by 16, I was already in a concentration camp. The first one in Krakow, Plaszow was very big concentration camp. I was there probably a year and a half. And then I was shipped to Schindler's concentration camp, but I didn't work in Schindler's. I was working next factory. We had 3 factories there, Schindler and KBF in a mill. I was working in NKF. I was repairing radiators for the German Messerschmitt, so the planes can fly bomb those and kill us. But anyway, from there, with the war was continuing. In 1944, they liquidated the parachute and Schindler took his people to Auschwitz with me together. I was on the same train. We were going to Auschwitz, but in Auschwitz was so much commotion on the station that the Schindler took off his people, and we, another train, completely loaded with Jews from Krakow, Plaszow. We were being transported for 2 days to Mauthausen, Austria, to a concentration camp. Over there was a nightmare because we came. In my car alone, I had 6 dead people. We were 19 people without food, without utilities, without anything, just a little air through the top of the wagon. There was a little window. And how we survived is a question mark, but we did.
I know, saw that you said that music.
The competition camp, and they gave us pajamas.
And I know you've said that music helped you get through that experience.
The music happened before when I was in Krakow. We were in concentration camp. When we came from work, we had a cantor by name David Verdiger. He was very famous. He came to America, he survived. And every night he was singing. So he was singing, Ilana, he was singing, we needed some beat. And happened, I was lucky, I had 2 spoons. You see those spoons? And with those spoons, there's a replica that I said, yeah, 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 la 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 la. And we were singing this. We didn't have no food. This was our entertainment.
That's incredible, Saul. So I'm curious, what does the Holocaust Survivor Band mean to you?
Very simple. One morning I waked up in the morning and I went to my computer in my room, and I saw an article about a lady by the name Sommers, a pronounced piano player. She survived Theresienstadt, and she passed away. Now, to survive Theresienstadt wasn't so easy and wasn't hard, because Theresienstadt was a concentration camp, strictly a propaganda. They had Jewish people there playing music, walking, eating. Whoever came from the outside, Red Cross or some ministers, they brought them to Theresienstadt to show them how the Jews are living. You understand? Meanwhile, they were in between, they were killing millions of Jews. And she survived with her husband perished. She survived with a son. That she went to Israel after the war. And she was playing piano there. Eventually, she moved to London. And every afternoon in London, in an apartment, she was playing the piano until she passed away. So I told myself there were 350 million people in the United States. I came out with the idea, I'm going to put together a Holocaust Survivor Band to remember the people that got killed and to remember the people that were playing in Theresienstadt. And I called my wife and I told her the story that I'm telling you now. So she says, you're crazy, my wife to me. This was on a Thursday. Saturday, I went to my synagogue and I saw the rabbi. And I told him the same story. So he says, Sal, you're 89 years old. What do you need it for? You retired a few years. Come on, enjoy life. You're crazy. Because my wife and my rabbi told me I'm crazy, I did the just opposite. On a Monday morning, I took a checkbook, went to Sam Esch and bought a brand new set of drums. And I loaded up, I had a little car, a fellow helped me out. I loaded up and I'm driving home like a very happy man. I'm a musician now. I'm going, one place. And I come home and I come upstairs. So my wife was already a little sick. She was better. So she says, Where were you? I says, I went shopping. What did you go shopping? Well, by the way, I bought you a present, but you have to come downstairs. It's big. I want to show you this. She says, oh my God, a big present. Where you gonna, what is it? I said, come on downstairs, I'll show you. She went downstairs. I opened the car. So she says, give out, either you go or the drums go. But eventually I convinced her and I started, and my first concert was in my synagogue. So the rabbi asked me, Sal, what are you going to charge? So I says, nothing. He says, why? If I'm going to charge nothing, everybody going to show up. I said, if not, nobody going to show up. He said, but you get a whole, I says, I'm going to cover all the expenses. And what I did, I was very smart. I said to my wife, Clara, I'm making a concert. I want you to come, take the aid with you and the noise and come down. It's in the synagogue. I want you to sit and listen. So, of course, we gave my wife the first row seats. She's sitting with my daughter. And I play after the concert, she makes with her finger like this. You notice that? Come on to me. I said, oh my God, I'm gonna get from my wife. I got scared. He says, Sal, I know you for 52 years. I know that we're friends, you, my husband. I didn't believe it that you are a celebrity. And that's how it started. So I got a job by Rabbi Lipsky on the 96th Street in Manhattan. I mean in Manhattan, on Collins Avenue. It was on a Sukkos, you know, Sukkos. So Sukkos, we went, you know, it's Florida. We set up on the Sukkos station, and all of a sudden it starts to rain. So we get rain out. So they pushed us in a little room, and you know, they're very religious. Men were separate, women were separate, and we were on the stage playing. The boys were dancing, the girl were dancing separate. Then a woman comes to me and says, Mr. Dreyer, do you have a card? I says, yes. You're going to hear from me in a few days. I says, you know, got in 1 year, got another one. Would you believe it? There was a lady by name Margulies. She lived in two places. She lives in Brooklyn and she lives in Florida. And she called me up. He says, I want you to meet somebody and we're going to tell you what happened. So I took my partner. We went to somebody. He was an ex-general of the army in Israel. And he says, look, we got a big affair going at the Venetian Hotel in Dallas, in Las Vegas. I want you 3 or 4 people to pack in. We gave you tickets and everything. And you're going to go with us to Las Vegas. I come to Las Vegas. I find out Dudu Fisher is the headliner. It was on a Friday night, so we eating dinner after the services. So Dudu Fisher tells to me, listen, I don't know what we're going to do, but Sunday morning, we have this show a Sunday afternoon. Sunday morning, we're going to practice. I said, fine. So I told my fellow, Sunday morning, we came to the venue. We started to, I didn't practice, Dudu Fisher, and they had a problem. They had a problem with the sound. They had a problem with monitors. They had a problem. All of a sudden, Dudu Fisher comes to me. He says, Sal, I'm going to play with you without practicing. Go, because we're going to take a long time. Of course, we came into the venue. We started to play. Dudu Fisher took a bar chair, sat down with us. It was Ruby, me, his daughter, in a guitar man, and we started playing. He says, let's start. He says, Belt, mein steht alle bells. We played after him, we follow him. After 2 songs, we stand up, we got a standing ovation, and we were anchoring him. And that's how it started. From there, everything came. We were playing all over the world. I was still playing all over the world. I was playing for 5. I put together, and I lately, a few months ago, I put together an orchestra. We call ourselves, and I found it, Dor Vudor. It means generation of generation. I got children, high school children, they're their grandparents or great-grandparents who are Holocaust survivors. And the first concert we had, I was leading it in Dallas, Texas, for 5,000 children from all over the world. After I played, they were going so crazy, so wild, that I was crying on the stage. And then after this, you know, I filmed for 2.5 years. I filmed my documentary with my partner, Ruby Sosnovitz. And the documentary just came out in January and the festivals. And we won the first prize. We won a Miami festival. This first prize we won in Atlanta. We followed them. The first prize we were playing in Krakow, Poland, when I was born, and now it's playing in Moscow. We play in New Zealand, so they invite us to the Oscar, but they didn't nominate us, but they say we are running. So I hope it's going to happen. And now my producer sold that to the Metro Goldwyn Films, and they're selling it all over. I'm on Amazon for 80 minutes with my documentary. And if somebody wants to see it, it's something to see. You're gonna cry, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna be very happy. And now everything is my way. I travel. I went to Brazil. I had 3 concerts with Get Elbas. And last week I filmed in a $2.5 million house in Boca. I filmed a little short film with Get Elbas, with 2 dancers, and with my producer and me, and I was playing my DJs with my orchestra, with my Dovbudor orchestra. You should see this. I think it's gonna come out either this week or next week. If somebody want to see it, probably gonna be on the YouTube. On the YouTube. It may be on Google. I don't know. Okay, continue, darling.
Wow, Saul. You know, and I was there. I saw you perform at that concert with those kids.
Oh, you did?
6,000 kids, and you tore the roof off the place. It was incredible. Everybody was standing and cheering, and it was amazing to see. And
I tell you,
I was crying too. It was very sweet. You know, I'm curious. It's now Hanukkah's coming up. It's the darkest time of the year. You bring so much light to the world with your music. What advice do you have for bringing light to the world?
Well, I tell you, I got a big advice, because I'll be very honest with you. I'm a double survivor, and nobody gonna now. Whoever here is gonna hear. 30 years ago, I had stomach cancer, and I had surgery. I got a little stomach, but after the surgery, are the 3 things: I throw away the cigarettes, I throw away the wind drinking, and I stopped taking any medication. Till now, I don't take no medication that the doctor prescribes me. I take some pills, you know, for my eyes, vitamins, or for 50, that's about all. And thank God, I'm very healthy. I'm 95 years old. I've got 4 children. I got 10 great children, 3 great grandchildren. I got 1 son who was a captain pilot for major airlines here. He semi-retired, went to Israel. Last week they had a baby boy, and my son is teaching English in Israel until he retires. That's about my wife passed away 4 years ago, but she was not my wife. She was a doll. She was a friend, a wife, and everything. My husband and I were living together for 57 years. Now I sit, you see my drums, I got another set drums. I come, I play every day. I do give Zooms. I'm gonna be Zooming on the 27th of January with my ex-partner, Ruby Sosnovitz, in Manhattan, Temple Emmanuel.
Wow.
I'm gonna be Zooming from this house, from my house, or maybe from a studio. I don't know it. I didn't make my mind up. I settled this deal. I'm Zooming with you. I'm Zooming Saturday night. I'm Zooming, I don't know, either from my house or somebody else's house. I'm Zooming to West Palm Beach, to one of the biggest, how you call it, shul. They're gonna have Abdullah, and we're gonna Zoom it to them. You know what Abdullah is, right? Well, of course. So that's about all, darling. And one thing I'm going to tell you, when I was young, I was religious, but now because of my cancer, because that I have to eat different food, I have to drive. And I became a Jew. I'm conservative, semi-conservative, semi-reformed, because I have got no choice. All the rabbis told me, Mr. Raya, in your case, you have to do whatever you have to do. All right, so that's what I do. I play music. One thing I'm gonna tell you, darling, till I die, I'm gonna fight the anti-Semitism. This is my main goal. That's why I put together the young children music. We're supposed to have a beautiful summit. Didn't happen because of the virus. And we are a little tied up. I hope that not only a few months I'm going to be able to go. I'm booked in several places, people calling me from all over. And I tell you, you can't take me now because I'm like a dog in a house. So forget it. But I'm trying the best you take. You heard my song. I play beautiful music. I play klezmer. I can play modern with an orchestra. I got 2 orchestras, and I'm very happy. God give me years. I'm 95 years old. You see what I'm doing? Like a 50 years old man played the drums, and I enjoy it.
So
Anything else, baby?
it's incredible. It's incredible. You're so inspiring, and
Thank you.
it's so lovely to hear you and watch you.
Thank you.
You know, and I hope, you know, you get to do many more concerts, either via Zoom or in person, whatever, because those kids look up to you, and you're so inspiring.
I know.
We all
And
do.
I tell you one thing: the people that are with you on the Zoom, if they want to find out about my past and my present, let them go to south.com. I got a website, a lot of writing, a lot of pictures and everything. You see this here? I don't know if you can see it. And the one I got pictures that unbelievable.
And I put the link to your website in the comments for folks that are watching on Facebook.
Right.
And you can see the trailer for the documentary there.
That's correct.
It brought me to tears. It's so beautiful. Saul, you know, I'm wondering before you leave, if you could regale us with one more song.
What? One song?
Yes, please, please.
I got set up the same one I played before I started. Could I play the same one?
Absolutely.
Okay. Are they gonna see me? Are your audience gonna see me? Okay. Maestro. Thank you.
Wow, Saul Dreyer, everyone. You can learn more about Saul at sauldryer.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy Hanukkah. And I hope you continue to bring light to the world at 95 years old and beyond. So thank you so much, Saul. And yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. This has been incredible.
Thank you. Bye-bye. That's it.